If you are here, you are probably feeling a lack, craving some clarity on English literature, struggling to connect Beowulf to Jane Austen, or place Shakespeare in his context. Say no more, I've got you. After the epic success of our 20th century literary criticism crash course, followed by 20th century literary theory crash course, I am launching an online course on history of English literature. Whether you are chasing your English honors dream, sweating over net, set, or prepping for CUETPG, this is for you. Over 18 engaging sessions will journey through each period, literary movement, and iconic author that has shaped English literature. From the heroic age of Beowulf to the experimental novels of the postmodern period. Here is how it works. Classes run 3 days a week, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We'll have this class on Google Meet for live interactive sessions. And don't worry if you miss one. Recorded sessions will always be made available for revision. Here is the lineup. We'll start with an introduction to English literature and language, exploring Old English history, Beowulf, the heroic poetry. Next, we'll move on to more Old English, covering religious poetry, elegies, and prose. The third session will be on Middle English period, the key historical moments, Geoffrey Chaucer, and especially his Canterbury Tales. The fourth session will continue with Middle English, focusing on medieval allegory, Arthurian romances, and medieval drama. In our fifth class, we'll have the Renaissance party, humanism, university wits, sonnets, epic poems. Then it's all about Shakespeare in the sixth session. His plays, his poetry. In our seventh class, we will hit the Jacobean and the Caroline periods with metaphysical poetry, dark drama, and the rise of Puritanism. Session 8 will be tackling the Civil War and Restoration. We'll talk about Milton, Dryden, Congreve, and Wycliffe. In the ninth session, we'll deal with the neoclassical period, the rise of the novels, and the sharp wit in the verse satire of Pope and Jonathan Swift. The Romantic period will take the center stage in our 10th session when we'll focus on both first generation and the second generation of Romantic poets. In the following session, we will be talking about other genres during the period like historical novels, novel of manners, and the closet drama. And we'll also talk about some notable essays. In the 12th session, we'll talk about the Victorian age, focusing on social novels, Gothic novels, and the impact of Darwinism. We'll also know what Victorian compromise is all about. Session 13 will be on Victorian poetry and essays. Tennyson, Browning, Arnold, Carlyle, Ruskin, all these names will be there in our class. And we'll also talk a little about the pre-Raphaelites. Session 14 will be an introduction to 20th century literature, particularly modernism. We'll talk about the world wars, advent of realism, experimentation, especially in drama, and of course, the Irish dramatic revival. Session 15 will be exclusively on modern poetry, and the next session will be completely on modern fiction, novels and short stories that rewrote the entire game. With our 17th session, we will move on to post World War II and post modernism with movement poets and angry young generation. Finally, in the 18th session, we'll wrap up with brainstorming and discussion in our practice session where we'll try to take up as many questions as possible based on the net and set and of course CUET-PG pattern. And that will be across the syllabus. In this online crash course, you will get comprehensive study materials, including presentation PDFs, curated notes to make learning seamless. Our goal is to make you understand literary texts in their historical and cultural contexts so that you not only master those texts but also grow this love for literature. Finish the course and you'll get a certificate of completion to flex. Why is this important? Because you get a flat 25% discount on all future courses if you hold a completion certificate from any of our courses or if you are a VIP member of our channel. Got any questions? Reach out to me via WhatsApp at 91635 20212. I'm sure this course is going to bring in a lot of difference in the way you look at history of literature.